So welcome everybody to the 2020 IWCA Annual General Membership Meeting. I'm Tracy Luty, for those of you who don't know, and I'll switch over to our PowerPoint here pretty soon. We will be having some different people speaking. Hopefully this will run smoothly. We've never tried this large of a meeting before, so on Zoom, so we're hoping it'll work pretty well. Unfortunately, we can't open it up for people to ask questions online, and we had sent in the postcard that was sent around, we did ask people to send in questions ahead of time. We didn't receive any, so probably what we'll do is just have you send those later on, and we can always answer them in some other fashion with communication to the whole club. So I am going to launch my PowerPoint again here. All right. So again, welcome to the annual general membership meeting. And if I can get my slides, there we go. The meeting is being streamed on YouTube, so if those of you or anyone who could not get connected through Zoom, you can feel free to go over to the IWCA website, or if you can find it on YouTube itself, you should be able to see the meeting. It will be recorded for review later, so you can feel free to do that as well. If you missed it, or if you know someone who needs to was not able to attend tonight, and they'll be able to see it later on. We will have very limited voting because of the situation with our meeting. The only thing we have planned for voting is the minutes from the annual general membership meeting from 2019. You're going to have to kind of be on your honor to vote only if you are an active voting member. But I'm sure you guys will do that just fine. And I appreciate any questions that we can have later on, and we'll be glad to get those answered. Our agenda is approval of the minutes, the treasurer's report. We'll talk about the national specialties. We have outstanding sportsmanship awards to be given, and the performance and versatility awards, and some selected committee reports. And then last but not least, we will talk about the election results. So for secretary, I will turn this over to Kim, and she will ask for the approval of the minutes from the 2019 membership meeting. And I'm trying to unmute Kim. There we go.
Okay. Greetings, everybody. So the minutes from the 2019 annual general membership meeting have been posted on the members portion of the website. Hopefully you've had an opportunity to review them. I have asked for and received a motion and a second from Jen Johnson and Ellen Kroll to approve the meeting minutes. And I believe Tracy is going to now launch a poll for voting.
So for those of you who are online or have a smartphone, you can vote on this poll. We'll give it a few minutes here. If you're on the phone only, I apologize that you cannot vote through that, but we have quite a few votes, so we'll give you a few minutes here, or a few seconds, not a few minutes. Okay, just a couple more seconds, and we are going to close that poll. And we will share the results. So we had 46 total votes, 44 voted to accept the minutes, and 2 abstained. And none against. Okay. I will stop that. And Kim, was there anything more that you needed to speak on?
That is the Secretary's report.
Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Okay, the Treasurer's report. Karen was not sure that she was going to be able to make it tonight because she is on call. I will read to you the balances that we have in our Treasury funds. I'm just going to give you big round numbers for this, but the details will be published in the committee reports on the membership portion of the website. So our total balance in assets is $116,000. I'm just giving big round numbers here. The categories that have some major amounts in them are education has about $1,000 available to it. The Harp and Hound has about $25,000 available for funding. Health and research is just under $8,000. Rescue has about $25,000. This year's specialty, which is being pushed forward to next year, has a remaining amount of about $3,500. The 2022 specialty will have, so to speak, seed money of $10,000 to work with when we get to that point. And there is approximately $42,000 in the general fund. Again, we will get the totals. The actual details of that will be published on the website on the membership portion. And also, I want to thank Karen. She's going to be leaving the treasurer's position after this meeting. Karen has been so timely and conscientious in her treasurer duties. And since she does have a heavy caseload in the cardiology OR suite, for the past 3 years, we were lucky to have her in this role as long as we did. The plan was for Karen to hand over the treasury records and so forth and sign over the bank records signatories to the new treasurer at our national, but of course that didn't happen. So she will work with the new treasurer to coordinate that transfer. And while that's going on, because we'll be using the mail and electronic signatures and so forth, Karen has that P.O. box in Baldwin, Missouri, that the Treasury monies can go to. So if somebody has a check they need to mail, that type of thing, she'll keep that open for a few more weeks until all the bank accounts can be transferred. So again, thanks very much to Karen for all of her hard work as treasurer. Okay. Next, we are going to, I didn't have the right one up. Next, we'll talk about the national specialties. 2020, we're affectionately calling the Not-Braska specialty, or the national that never was. In a minute, I'll give Nina the microphone, and she will talk about reservations and the cancellations and the rescheduling and so forth. So 2021 will be Nebraska, basically everything about the same except just in 2021. The tentative schedule, which I'll have more details here in a minute, will be from May 24th, that's a Monday, through May 27th, which is a Thursday, I believe. We still have Knut Olav Willie as our regular class judge, and Linda King will be our sweepstakes judge. In 2022, Doug Marks and Sherry Erick will be the chairman for the national in the Maryland area, and we have Paul Rickhand as the confirmation judge and Herbie Meyer as the sweepstakes judge. Since we moved everything ahead or back, whichever way you want to put it, we are going to retain or keep open the applications for anyone who wants to hold the specialty in 2023. We have received one application for the Dallas area. We want that one, if we can, we want 2023 to be a central area because 2022 will be east. 2023 we would like to have in the central area. We will keep the applications open until January, and the board will meet, or in our meeting, in the winter meeting, we will discuss any applications we've received at that time. So here's the tentative schedule, and we will turn this over to Nina to talk about a few things.
Good evening, everyone. We've moved the specialty to the same week, but it's a week later because Memorial Day is a week later. So it will begin on, Monday, the 24th of May. It will end on the 27th, as Tracy said. The tentative schedule is for the board meeting, ASFA and JC, and the welcome on the 24th, obedience rally, sweeps, juniors, veterans, the health seminar, and the AGM on the 25th. The regular classes start on the 26th with LEGRA, judges, breeder judging education, and the auction on the 26th. The Parade of Veterans, resuming the regular class, member education, and the judges' dinner on the 27th, and that will be the conclusion. Like I said, it's the same week, but it's just a week later. It'll be at the park. This week, I was just notified by the officials that we can schedule our event, but we cannot schedule reservations for cabins, RVs, or the lodge until a month out at this time. I will be contacting them every month, if not every couple of weeks, or they will contact me when that changes, because I'm sure it will at some point, and we will let you know as soon as possible, when it's possible, to schedule or to make reservations at the park. Other than that, everything's just a year later.
Thank you, Nina. Anything else, Nina?
No, if you have any questions that I didn't answer that you're aware of, just let me know.
All right.
People can feel free to email or call me anytime with any kind of questions they have about the specialty.
Okay, and we have your contact information on the website as well as the Facebook group. Or,
yeah, I think
group.
It's all over everything somewhere.
It's all over everything. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nina. All right. So, in addition to having to move everything back a year, we thought, oh, well, we're all feeling very sad that we aren't going to get to see each other, see your hounds, have a good time with our auctions and so forth. So we wanted to have something to kind of keep us connected, so to speak. And we were hoping to have some sort of I'm going too fast here, sorry. There we go. To have some sort of a fundraiser, but we're not too concerned about the funds, but just something to connect us. And if we can get Courtney off of mute at this point, let's see if we can have Courtney speak to our
I'm here.
national. There, you got? Okay, great.
I'm here. Okay, so Tracy contacted me, Doug, and Nina and I think Kim also, to try to figure out something for maybe some fundraising, try to keep people involved with the club. And we decided to possibly do some t-shirts. And yeah, everybody has 1,000 t-shirts, but there's quite a few things that we can do product-wise for this too. But we decided to try to get a design. And thank you to Margie Milne. Contacted her, and it wasn't even by the next morning, she already had a design started up and ready for us. So this is what we have, what you see in front of you. The National That Never Was with the Wolfhound Dreaming. And I went ahead and contacted the one person I could think of off the top of my head who's great at getting fundraisers together, which was Angie Bixler. And we went straight to Zazzle, and we've got most of it set up, and she and I are going to get together and get the rest of it set up, and we will have a link on the Facebook page and send one out through email to all the members to go ahead and order something. And you'll just go straight through Zazzle, order through them, and it'll be shipped to you. So there'll be no middleman or anything like that. And then a percentage of that will come back to the club to help offset some other costs. And if anybody has anything that they can think of that they might specifically want, because they have everything from wine bottle openers to t-shirts to hats and backpacks. Just let us know, and we can work with you and try to get those into the design group also. And that's about it.
Okay, and that we'll have that connected through, I assume, did you say through the website and Facebook both?
Yeah, I'll have it on the website and the Facebook, and then if we can, we'll probably try to send an email out if possible, if needed. So just do a blast email. That should work.
Awesome. All right. Okay, and one more reminder, if you would please stop your video, it will help our speed of our bandwidth on this. We don't really need to have, since we're doing this as a meeting instead of a webinar, it kind of takes up a lot of space to see all of the video or have all the videos streaming. Okay, do we have Mary? Can Kim or Jen get Mary unmuted? Because our next item is the Outstanding Sportsmanship Award. Courtney and Bev Stobart were in charge of the Outstanding Sportsmanship Award this year. And we had quite a few people send in their nominations towards the end of the year. And the winner this year is Jill Bryson. And unfortunately, Jill passed away late in 2019. But for those of you who don't know Jill, she and her late husband, Kevin Bryson, have lived in Idaho since the 70s. They were instrumental in encouraging lure coursing, obedience, rally, straight racing, and other performance events to all of us. I was one of those included. On a rare occasion, we'd get Jill into the confirmation ring, but that was definitely not her forte. She did fine in it, she just didn't like to do it. So accepting the award for Jill is Mary Perry of Park City, who was a good friend of Jill's.
Well, Jill would have been surprised and honored to receive the Outstanding Sportsmanship Award for the Irish Wolfhound Club of America. This is a quote from Jill and her husband, Kevin, back in 1997. And I'd like to thank Carol Gabriel for sending me this information from the Irish Wolfhound Association of the West Coast. We would like to thank all who have helped us so much since 1972. When we started with IWs, how lucky we have been. We never guessed our lives would soon revolve around these wonderful hounds. And our most precious friendships would come from a shared love for them. Thank you for your patient help, guidance. The hounds of Eriklin, thank you too. We will try to pass on to others your patience and teachings so that they may also enjoy the many pleasures of living with these magnificent, multi-talented hounds. That was so true then and now. I know many others have appreciated her teachings and her encouragements over the years. Thank you, Jill
Mary.
Bryson. Until we meet again, we will honor you by continuing your efforts and encouragement and having fun with our hounds.
Thank you, Mary. And that is so true for those of you who knew Jill. She would have been so irate at having won this, but yet she embodied everything with sportsmanship. And we will all miss her. Okay. Thank you very much, Mary.
You're all welcome, and stay safe, everyone.
Okay. The next thing we will talk about are our performance or performance rankings and our versatility awards. Dave asked me to go ahead and speak for him, but I do want to do a shout out to Dave Berzins, who's the chairman of this committee. He has kept on top of our performance and companion dog competitions very diligently. All the new title winners are listed promptly on the website as soon as he gets notified. Thank you to Dave and all the performance and versatility committee members. So our versatility certificate, the IWCA's versatility program originated in 2003 to encourage owners to work with their Irish Wolfhounds in various activities and honor those IWs who have gained titles in multiple events. This year, the IWCA is proud to present Culcara's Aine the Alluring with a versatility certificate and medallion. Her call name is Aine. She is owned by Donna Cassini, Dale Knowlton, and the late Donna Drake, and was bred by Donna Drake, Lois Thomason, and Debbie Mitchell. Aine, and I'm probably not saying that properly, has a confirmation championship, a companion dog and beginner novice titles in obedience, rally novice and rally intermediate titles, and a canine good citizen title. She is also very accomplished in lure coursing with a field championship from ASFA. Donna will be mailed the certificate and medallion this week. Congratulations. And that's a lovely picture. Then next we want to honor the top performance Irish Wolfhounds from 2019. To begin with, the #1 Irish Wolfhound in ASFA lure coursing was Culcara Aine the Alluring. That name may sound familiar. Yes, our versatility awardee was also the top ASFA courser in 2019. She's actually a repeat #1 courser in ASFA, as she earned this same honor in 2018 as well. Our #1 AKC lure coursing winner, AKC also offers lure coursing, and the #1 Irish Wolfhound in AKC lure coursing was Gabriel's Quiiley of the Mckenzie. Similarly, he is not new to coursing honors, as he was the #1 ASFA courser in 2017. Quiiley was bred by Carol Gabriel and is owned by Steve and Betsy Gabriel. Another running sport is straight racing via the Large Gazehound Racing Association. Finishing first with the most points in Legra racing is Howlin Hi-Ho Lounge on St. Claude. Claude was bred by and is owned by David and Risha Berzins. Please sit and stay for our next honoree, Kellamore Starkeeper Jake, who was the #1 Irish Wolfhound in AKC Rally. Jake was bred by Joanne Buhner Brown and Jocelyn Gagne and wonderfully handled and owned by Janet Kaiser. And then, last but not least, in conclusion, the top Irish Wolfhound in AKC agility was Howlin's Praline, call name Dauphine, I guess. She was also the top IW in agility in 2018, 2017, and 2016. She is bred and owned by David and Risha Bursons. Congratulations to all the top performing hounds, their owners and breeders, as well as everyone who had fun at trials in 2019. Okay. Now we'll talk about some of our committees. Membership chairman is Nina Gotch. Our current membership totals are 633 members, made up of 320 active members and 313 associate members, so nearly half and half. Normally, the board would vote on our membership applications that were published in the spring Harp and Hound at the board meeting preceding the specialty. However, since the spring Harp and Hound containing the recent applicants was mailed just about the 1st of May, there was not a full day, 30-day comment period between the mailing date and the May 17th board meeting, which was last weekend. Therefore, the board will hold an electronic meeting to vote only on those applicants sometime after June 4th, which will be 30 days, and it'll probably be a few days after that or a couple of weeks after that. Comments on applicants can be made to Nina Gotch, membership chairman, or Kim Stamen, secretary. I want to say a few words about our membership deadlines. The IWCA bylaws calls for membership renewals to be submitted by January 1st of each year. The membership renewals for 2020 were sent out in a timely manner in November. After January 1st, a grace period is allowed to submit your renewals without penalty by March 31st to retain your membership in good standing. The membership list must be closed, or membership renewals must be closed on March 31st to allow us time for balloting, for printing the ballot and mailing it. Unfortunately, there cannot be exceptions to this deadline out of fairness to the board and the committee chairmen who must perform their club duties on time and also have their own jobs, families, and hounds to care for. Please do not take membership renewal deadlines personally. It is set by the bylaws, and we must be able to get things out on a timely basis for our votes. So, since my membership on the board, the renewal rules have been applied objectively and fairly to all. So don't feel like we're have it out for anybody in particular. If you need a membership list, you can get it one of two ways. There's a membership list available to members who can access the website. And in a second here, we'll have Jen Johnson show us how to get to that membership list. And you can also request a paper version of the membership list for a fee, and you can contact Nina Gotch for those. So I'm now going to switch over, turn over the screen sharing to Jen, and pause and let her take over and show you how you can get to your membership list online. We got you, Jen?
Yes, give me
Okay.
1 second while I get the right thing up and then launch this puppy. Tell me when you can see this screen. And
I'm seeing a white screen. There's a screen.
oh, sorry. Now I have forgotten how to launch PowerPoint presentation.
There's oh, well, it should be
There we go.
right. There should be a little thing that looks like a screen, a slideshow screen. There you go.
There we go. I was just lost for a moment. And then let me turn on my pen. Okay, so this is the homepage of the website. If you are a member, you can log in either with your username and password right up here at the top, or if you can click on the members link here, and that takes you to a login page. If you're not already logged in, you can log in that way. Once you're logged in, you come to, whoops. This is the member dashboard, and right over here on the left is a link for the IWCA club roster. And you should always take a moment to check the dashboard just in case there's any important notices for members there. There we go. And then this is the roster edited so that we're not putting up people's phone numbers. You can look at, this is a list of all IWCA members. You can see first and last name, what city and state, or what state and country they're in. Depending on their preferences, you can see email and phone. And then you can see whether they're an active or associate member. If you are on this page, you can also download this as a CSV file, which is comma separated values. But more importantly, you can open that file with Microsoft Excel, Google Sheets, or Macintosh's, Apple's Numbers application on Macs. And just wanted to quickly, while you're on in the member section, there's also the emergency resources list right below the roster. And this is something that some of our club members have opted into. If you would like to opt into the emergency list, you can do that through your profile on the website, where you can set your phone numbers and everything. And this is a list by state of people who have said it's okay to contact them if you are traveling with a hound and need assistance. If your trailer breaks down, if you have a dog who gets ill on the road and you need to find a good vet, this is a list of our members who have said, call us. If you need something, call us. So you can opt into this again through your profile on the website. And that is that. Tracy, I'm not getting your audio.
Because I had muted myself, trying to be polite. Okay, thank you, Jen. That was helpful. Hopefully that will help some of you who've been challenged by trying to find the membership list. But again, you can still get the paper version from Nina if you want to. So let me go back to sharing my screen. Okay. Now, our next committee that we're going to talk about is the Harp and Hound. I am going to put Denise Shorey on the spot here because we were going to have Angela speak, and Angela had an emergency with one of her hounds that she had to take off. So I'm going to unmute Denise and see if she's willing to speak. If she's not, I can speak for Angela.
Thank you, Tracy. I'm pretty sure that we have 3 points we wanted to talk about. The first one is something that you all heard a little bit about. The magazine, Harp and Hound, our spring issue, was mailed by our printer the first week of May, and you should be receiving it in your mailbox maybe today, maybe yesterday, or maybe tomorrow. So please look for it. It will look a whole lot like your screen does right now, with the smiling face in a field of wildflowers. So look for your Harp and Hound, and we'd love to have feedback. Send us a letter to the editor. Enjoy all of the articles, the pictures, and let us know what you think. The second piece is we are prepping now for the summer edition, and The summer edition will look a little different than normal because we aren't going to have a specialty, but we have a really super surprise for you that I think you'll enjoy, and it will still have a specialty flavor. We are also looking for input from all of you, and we would love to hear from you on three topics, actually. One of them is if you have an article or pictures on canines and COVIDs, anything that you're doing or any kinds of activities, please contact us. We'd love to have you write an article. If you have essential workers and their hounds, please contact us. We'd like to talk to you. We also are always looking for ads. So if you have an ad for the summer, maybe a commemoration of a specialty from the past that you'd like to highlight, please let us know. David Smith is tremendous with our ads, and he heads that up. The other thing is we are always looking for candid pictures to include, and we are looking for summer candid, so please send those. The other piece is Sarah Shorey Wickholm and myself, Denise Shorey, have taken over the co-editor position, and we have a team of 12 fantastic members, and you can read about them in our letter from the editor on the first pages of the Harp and Hound. So thank you all for your support. We really, really appreciate everything you do for us. And we look forward to summer edition and fall and winter after that. I'm done.
Thanks so much, Denise. And the entire board, I'm going to speak for them whether they like it or not, has been very impressed with the camaraderie and teamwork that has taken over to get the things taken care of, to get the Harp and Hound out and timely. And it is continuing to be a quality magazine. Also, the contact information for if you have articles, information, requests, and so forth is harphound at IWClubofamerica.org. So that is our Harp and Hound email address that you can add to your address book. Okay, thank you very much. Next, we'll talk about health and research. Mary Ellen Dantino could not join us. She's the chairman of this committee. She couldn't join us online. She might be on, but she wasn't sure she would be able to make it. But we thank her so much for her vigilance and research about the studies that your dollars support in canine health research. She wanted me to let you know about a couple of things that we are supporting. We continue to support the peer-reviewed research to benefit Irish Wolfhounds. Available updates can be found in board meeting minutes and on the committee reports online, as well as through the minutes that are published in the Harp and Hound. The IWCA is also supporting genetic component of early onset osteosarcoma in the Irish Wolfhound. The investigator is Dr. Susanna Sample at the University of Wisconsin. Although her lab remains closed right now, they are able to handle blood samples from any IW age 5 or younger with osteosarcoma, or age 10 or older without osteosarcoma. The contact for Dr. Sample's study is genetics@vetmed.wisc for Wisconsin.edu. The planned health topic for the now 2021 National is a discussion of bleeding problems in Irish Wolfhounds. If you have any questions or contributions for the health presentation, health studies, anything to do with our health and research, please email Mary Ellen at drdantino@icloud.com. And thank you, Mary Ellen, for those continued research. So now we have three-pronged education committee that we combined into one to make it easier to support resources. So we will now turn this over to Ellen Kroll, to talk about her, I think I'm unmuting the right person there, to talk about her education committee. There we go.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Obviously, this year has been challenging for education on many different levels. I lead up the judges' education portion. The members' education portion is done by Mel Mercer, and public education has been led by Jen Sula. In our judges' education area, almost everything's been canceled because there's been shows canceled. Just like ours, there's no all breed education that's going on at shows. So we're really kind of excited about looking at the possibility of trying to create a webinar for the Irish Wolfhound for judges. The webinar project for the AKC has been really, really popular. We're getting a lot of good feedback on that. And so my committee is going to be working on that possibility. We already have things scheduled. We've got things scheduled in September and early in the winter. So we're hopeful that in-person education will be able to get started here pretty quick. The other thing is I've been contacting all my judge mentors and talking to them about continuing on and their involvement, and I'm getting really good response. Everybody's re-upping and saying yes, they will continue. In member education, of course, we've had a lot of difficulty because of the same problem. We're looking at ways that we can do virtual presentations for members as well. And Mel is working on whether the Breeders' Symposium in November is going to be able to look the same this year or not. So that's a big project for her as well. Public education has obviously been limited to pretty much email and phone calls stuff, but we're really going to be looking, the board has really started to look at how can we do more education through the website and social media for newbies and for our members. So it's a big shift in emphasis, but we're dedicated to next year. So we'll come back to it and do as much as we can.
Okay, Ellen, is that it?
That is all I have to say.
Okay, we appreciate it, and thanks so much for keeping up on this and shifting as you need to keep the education going without our normal channels. Thanks. Okay, whoop. So next, we're going to talk about the breeder directory. The IWCA has listed breeders on the breeder directory for several years. Unfortunately, the list wasn't being maintained for the past couple of years. We kind of lost track of having a committee to keep up with that. So starting in January, Joel Matson, Helen Philpott, and Kim Stamen reformed the committee and have been meeting frequently since January to document criteria for inclusion in and methods of contact for the breeder directory. They presented their plans to the board on Sunday, this past Sunday, at our board meeting, and it was approved to move forward with their plans. So please stay tuned for a relaunch of the breeder directory with a couple of little changes from what we've had in the past. And thank you guys so much for giving up an awful lot of evenings to talk about getting this launched again. Seems like every time I tried to get a hold of one of them, they were going to be having another meeting. So they met quite a bit. All right. The next thing, next committee we want to talk about is the Club's Liaison Committee. Maggie Wolf is the chairman of this committee, and she's kind of had an eye-opening on how it has been to try to get the communication going with all of the different clubs, whether they're show-giving clubs or social clubs or rescue clubs. But she's trying to keep everybody engaged, trying to increase the communication, and look at some different ways to be aware of what needs people might have in the different clubs. Maggie sent me the following. In these times of challenge and change, the true connection between the IWCA and the regional, local, and international clubs has become so clear. We all passionately adore and want to protect these mighty hounds with every ounce of our strength. As new boundaries are created for our club breeder directory, which we just talked about, let us help everyone to begin the conversation of buying from a reputable breeder at every opportunity. As we face this international pandemic, let us keep our eyes open for owners who are struggling with caring for their dogs, both new to the breed and those who have had Irish Wolfhounds for generations. Let us show them as much kindness as our hounds show us daily. As we prepare to move forward from the specialty that never was, let us communicate better than ever before, taking on the challenge of encouraging new membership, educating the public, and helping newbies to the world of IWs feel welcome at all activities and specialties to come. As we watch the Harp and Hound unfold into the incredible magazine it has become, let us volunteer our time and knowledge to supply quality content and advertising support. As we watch in joy and horror the challenges of managing our information and image on social media and the internet, let us choose to be honest but kind. Simply said, to all our tribe, the IWCA wants to be there for you, and we can use all of the help we can get. From each of the clubs you represent, let's all step up to the task before us. Those were excellent words, Maggie. So if you have clubs that have not heard from the Liaison Committee, please contact Maggie Wolf. And you can find all of the board contact information in the Harp and Hound and the website. Okay. So now we come to the election. This is our second year doing electronic voting. No more late night counting with missed auctions and education events by the tellers. I hope you feel it is a positive step forward, as I do and former President Birgitta Stolpe did. As we announced in March, our balloting vendor, Simply Voting, was unable to accept paper ballots because they were unable to meet in person to not only transfer the paper ballots to them, but also they could not be there in person to count with the stay-at-home orders. Therefore, they offered the telephone voting in addition to the internet voting, and we hope that was smooth enough for most of you to complete your voting. We got a 52 over almost 53% voter turnout, which in today's world is actually fairly good. But the positive part of having not been able to accept the paper ballots was we could have you vote a little bit later on into the week, because all they had to do was have the computer count for us. So we were allowed to have the voting continue until Monday and give us time to get our results. So when we started the election process, we nominated, and she didn't have a choice than to accept, Jennifer Johnson as the election supervisor, since Jennifer was not part of the election this year. It gave her no call into the election, and also she has the technical expertise to be able to receive the results, which is pretty simple. They just send us an email, and she can also answer some questions as needed. So we're going to turn it over to Jen to let her read the election results. And I'm looking for you, Jen, to unmute you. Have you already done it? Oh, you're
Yep.
awesome. Okay.
Do you need me to
I'm going,
read out the names, or do you need me to read out the number of votes everybody received?
I'm going to go to the next slide here, and you can do that from there.
I haven't, there we go. There we go. Well, I'm going to just read this then. Tracy Ludy was the candidate for president, and she received 137 votes. Kim, your number for Kim is actually off. Kim Stamen received 152 votes.
Oh.
For secretary.
Okay.
I know exactly how that happened looking at the PDF here, so that's not a problem. They have those numbers very close to each other.
Yeah, they do.
Denise Shorey for treasurer received 146 votes. Our vice presidents are Bev Stobart with 134 votes, Ellen Kroll with 131 votes, Courtney Smith with 119, Amy Bunny Reba with 103, and Lynn Simon with 94 votes. Our directors, class of, 2023, are Mary Ellen Dentino with 147 votes, Helen Philpott with 126, Joel Matson with 123, and Mel Mercer with 104. And then our AKC delegate, Eugenia Hunter, with 136 votes.
It looks like I had that wrong too.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes, I did. So those results will be posted on the website.
Sometimes
and with the correct numbers. But there was nothing posted that put them in the wrong order or anything like that. So
nope,
we will. Go ahead, Jen.
I'm just saying, no, we're good. It's all fine, and they'll be up on the website later on this evening.
Thank you. Okay. And I want to thank the 2019 to 2020 board. They were hard workers, spent many hours, and got results. This photo, it's a little bit of a mislabeling. This photo was actually the 2018 to 2019 board meeting at the January 2018 meeting in New Orleans. Angela Hunter Knight has tried multiple times to get another photo of the board, but it's like herding kittens to get us all to sit or stand still for 20 seconds for another photo. Regardless, I cannot thank this team pictured and the 2019-2020 board enough for all the hard work and hours spent organizing and guiding your club. The depth and breadth of knowledge of this team is very humbling to me. And now I would like to welcome the 2020 and 2021 IWCA board. President Tracy Ludy, Secretary Kim Stamen, Treasurer Denise Shorey, AKC Delegate Eugenia Hunter, Vice Presidents Bev Stobart, Ellen Kroll, Courtney Smith, Bunny Reba, and Lynn Simon. The Class of 2021 Directors, Dave Berzins, Jennifer Johnson, Margaret LaRosa, and David Smith. The Directors of the Class of 2022, Nina Gotch, Linda King, Angela Hunter Knight, and Maggie Wolf. And the Directors Class of 2023 that we just announced, Mary Ellen Dentino, Helen Philpott, Joel Matson, and Melanie Mercer. Leaving our board this year are Treasurer Karen Frederick, Board Member Jen Sula, and Vice President Diana Vrinken. Thanks to all three of them for the work they've put in. And as Diana just sent me an email, she could not attend tonight, but she said it was very eye-opening to her, and she said in a good way to be on this board, to learn the tasks and the teamwork that we share on the board. At our first full-length board meeting in the fall, we will be selecting a nominating committee for the 2021 election. We don't even get to start working together before we have to nominate the next group. If you would like to be considered for working with or running for the IWCA board, please let one of us know. Only active or voting members may serve on the board, but we do have many projects that any member may help us with. This is your club. Please help us make it what you want it to be. And we called for questions prior to the meeting. We did not receive any, but we'll be glad to answer them down the road. I had announced to the membership that I was planning to do a kind of a webinar just to educate people about our club. And I had it all put together, ready to record when we all got sent home and had to start making decisions about working at home, staying at home, and changing our plans for our 2020 show. So I've still got it ready to go, just haven't had the chance to get it recorded and put out on the web. Here are a few, all of the membership or all of the board members' contact information, as you know, is on the website as well as in the Harp Hound. But here are a couple of the ones that are probably most prominent. The president's email address, the membership chairman's email address, and the secretary's email address. We had the Harp and Hound email address earlier. It's harphound@IW Club of America. And you can also find all of this on the website, iwclubofamerica.org. I want to thank everybody for trying out our Zoom. Looks like we have about 74 participants. I don't know if there's any duplicates. Some people have to call in like I do, as well as be on the internet. But that's a pretty good attendance. So I'm really happy that you guys gave it a try. We'll try to, if we ever do this again, we'll try to fix a few of the things that we ran into this time. But as we all know, learning experiences can be a good thing. I hope to see all of you at least next year, if not before then, in person. And in the meantime, be safe and well until then. Thank you.